Hello. Here's an attempt to help with some of the egregores that have been affecting the community. These ones concern aphorisms or common phrases that commonly used phrases that aren't the truth but are habitually used for some reason. So there was a video. There's a video somewhere out there. Hopefully it's in one of the playlists so you can find it easier if you need to, about a guy who reckoned he was working for the CIA or something in PsyOps. And he actually mentioned that little catchphrases, sometimes might be described as aphorisms, are actually PsyOps. In newscasting, it's symptomatic potentially of a PSYOP. You should be sus if you see that. So here's some common phrases that if you poke at it a little bit, we'll see if that sounds like it might be an egregore type PSYOP, and we can break it apart. Okay, so have you ever heard the common phrase, the rich and the powerful? Why is rich and powerful in the same sentence? Okay, rich typically in the English language means they have lots of money. And maybe they have lots of big houses or something like that, or flash cars or whatever. A lot of material wealth or possessions, okay? Okay. Powerful. Well, that's so rich. We're not disputing what the word rich means. Powerful is a little bit of a different one, though. Does powerful mean that they can zap you from outer space with lasers, like the USSF did, according to Wikipedia, in some campaigns a few years ago, or maybe about 10 years ago or something like that, 15 years ago? Is that powerful, is it? Is it powerful to be able to launch a rocket into space and have a little satellite with a laser beam attached to it to kill people on the Earth? Is that what qualifies powerful? Does powerful mean having control of all the computers and technology and writing algorithms that selectively, based on the demographic data derived from Facebook and other forms of social media, mean that you only have selective access to certain types of videos and other forms of content that lead you down a particular ideological garden path, such as MAGA thinking that Trump was the Messiah in 2016. Or other groups go through similar things. Is that powerful? Is that truly powerful? Is powerful when you can make a car go at Mark 3 or Mark 4 and break the sound barrier? Is powerful when you have an enormous IQ? Is powerful when you're so beautiful that everyone just falls at your feet and they can't help but assume that you're the nicest person ever, even if you're not? You might actually be. It's not to say that beautiful people can't be nice, because sometimes they are, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's true. That's called superficiality, isn't it? See, the thing is, zapping people with lasers from outer space sounds like murder. Is murder powerful? Is mind control or manipulation or ideological manipulation and curtailing free speech through selective demographic educational manipulation for the purposes of rigging societies, is that powerful? Or is that fascistic? Is that authoritarian? You don't know what powerful is, do you? What's all the stories behind powerful? What does it tell you? Well, it's abusive. Is powerful the same as abusive, is it? Wow. But isn't it really, really fucking powerful? Don't you feel in absolute awe at the power of a small group of volunteers who gave up their weekend to get in a big red fucking truck and come to your neighbourhood and get a hose and put out a fire and go into your house and save your pets. You might think they're the most powerful person in the world. Look how brave they are. They fought fire to save your pets. Good old firefighters, they're pretty powerful. Well, they don't get paid any money for that in Australia. They're usually volunteers. Oh, wait, they're not famous people, or sometimes they might be, but usually they're not. They sound pretty powerful, don't they, when they do that? You bet you think they're powerful then. Do you think it's powerful if one of your relations were to go to hospital with the big C, cancer, and you were told that, well, thanks to the effort of political activists going back some 1,000 years, despite the fact that the economic and political system was both transported here from overseas and modified here as a consequence of events overseas and here, we now have this thing called Medicare. So for absolutely no money whatsoever, you can just walk into that hospital and that doctor will give you treatment based on the work of thousands and thousands of research scientists around the globe. And a disease that once would kill you now doesn't. Here, take a pill. Look, you don't even have to have chemo now. Here, take a pill. Cancer's gone. Yeah, you're not going to die. Here you go. Come back and see us in a month. We'll do a checkup. How much? It's got nothing. You already paid your taxes, didn't you? You contributed. Off you go. Don't die. Take your medication. And how much does that medication cost? $7.70 under PBS. Do you think the person in that situation would go, okay, those doctors are pretty powerful, Medicare's pretty powerful, and PBS is pretty powerful? Yes, they would. Oh, they would, wouldn't they? Okay. Oh, they think that's very powerful. Do you think all those people that got rescued there was an Underground Railroad situation when they were trying to remove slavery in the USA, and there's a famous lady from over there named Harriet Tubman, and she was one of those Schindler type characters who was rescuing all them slaves, right? A good person. Do you think Harriet Tubman was considered powerful by all those people? They would be like, yes, ma'am, we like you. All right, what do you need? Do you need help later? We'll go over to that village over there and see what we can do from there. Is that okay? And Harriet Tubman said, sure. More hands on deck to help this problem, the better. Oh. And what do you need for that, Harriet Tubman? Nothing? Nothing? She made no profit at all? None. Not a single cent. Oh. Heaven forfend. And was she the leader of the society at the time? Nope. She was a black lady with a big bloody nose too. Classic black, the kind they used to pick on. And you mean to say that she started a social movement that literally saved people from slavery? Yep. Roughly akin to the French resistance of the United States of America before Abraham Lincoln? Yep. And, how come we don't have lots of movies about her? Because she's black. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Hang on, that sounds like... And also it was a woman. Oh. Is that presumptuous? It is. It also does reflect some trends, doesn't it? Most of Hollywood is run by white men. Yeah, and how many of them are Jewish? Not all of them, most of them are not Jewish. Do you think the Jewish producers would have favoured stories about Schindler, maybe? Oh, shit, yeah. And would you blame them for that? No. Okay, but how many movie producers in Hollywood are descendants of slaves? Like, that are actual, companies like Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer or whatever it might be. Fucking none of them. Oh. Where do they stick the black fellas in the USA? In the music industry and rap and R&B? Really? Oh. Wait, so they've racialized their arts economy? Oh. That's affecting the media representations? Oh, that's interesting. I got some work to do there. Wait, so they're capable of that, right? See, you'd expect if you're going with the expectation of bias thing, which by the way probably is a psyop, but we'll do that anyway. That argument anyway. If you're going with the expectation of bias thing, then if a nice black lady from America decided to become to own one of the greatest the most powerful media companies in Hollywood ever. There'd be Harriet Tubman movies everywhere. There'd be Harriet Tubman movies everywhere. There'd be movies about the first African American female astronaut. There'd be Harriet Tubman movies everywhere. Okay, right? If it worked on bias, expect if there's, maybe the Jewish producers produced Schindler's List. What if it wasn't a Jewish person? What if it was what if the producer was a German person who wanted to tell a story of, don't feel so bad, there was actually a good guy once. People need to know that. Yeah. Okay. Right? Yeah. Not everyone was evil. Thank goodness there was Schindler. Everyone needs to know that story. Get rid of that toxic shame that German people feel. Right? Yeah. Okay. It could have happened another way. What if some people, what if there are black women executives in the media in Hollywood, and they don't want those movies produced about Harriet Tubman? Why? Why don't they want that? What if they wanted to be a bit more like Neil deGrasse Tyson or Dr. deGrasse Tyson, and they wanted to be seen as professionals, and for all how their visibility is independent of their skin tone. What do they wanted their representations to be independent of their skin tone? It's not though. Like all the conversations that come out of the USA are fucking about race. Like every last one of them. Like they're fucking obsessed with it. It's like a virus that they're obsessed with that's been projected onto other countries. Right. And when did it get projected onto those countries? In Australia, it was probably like during the gold rush. And why do we think it was during the gold rush? Like, wasn't it racist for Lachlan Macquarie in 1816 to start a genocidal war campaign against Aboriginal people because of the Rum Rebellion? It wasn't the rebels' fault. It was Lachlan Macquarie's response that was at fault. Nonetheless, that was the preceding event. Oh yeah, genocide is pretty racist. Of course it fucking is. What was the motive behind it though? Did he have a personal disaffection? See with racism, you get this thing called disaffection. Yet they don't like them. They don't like black people. They don't like white people. Whatever it might. They don't like Asians or something. Okay, and then that disaffection precedes the negative behavioural outcome, doesn't it? Okay, so then did he have that disaffection for black people? Lachlan Macquarie lived in India and Egypt before he came to Australia and became the governor of the penal colony. So Major Lachlan Macquarie was previously stationed in India and Egypt. Under what capacity? Part of the invading British Imperial Army that stole their land and resources. So he was accustomed to going into black people's countries and killing them for their stuff. Yeah. How come Governor Arthur Phillip didn't do that? What do you mean? Well, actually, before Lachlan Macquarie, this is a historical fact about Australia a lot of people don't know, even though there were killings happening, the white person, if they killed the black person, they could still get strung. They get 40 lashes and they go to the gallows. Yeah. No, really. Okay? It doesn't mean that the white fellas respected land and law or Aboriginal people, because they fucking didn't. They betrayed them. Okay? Yeah. In some cases tried to tried to learn. There's a lot of individual case-by-case basis stuff with that. Okay, but in terms of policy, how come Arthur Phillip wasn't the one that declared it genocidal war? He was also under King George V. How come it was Governor Lachlan Macquarie? How come it wasn't the policy from the outset? Don't forget, 1816 is 16 plus 2 years for 1788, and since you go back to 1770, okay, so that's 20 years, that's 30 years, 46 years since Lieutenant James Cook showed up, not in Sydney, somewhere else. That's another myth. He wasn't a captain at the time, and it wasn't Sydney. But anyway, okay, 46 years for them to declare genocidal war. So they were mucking up before that, okay. There were usually repercussions, though. Were the repercussions fair? Were the causes of those behaviours prevented actively through proper policy behaviour? Not really. But why? Why did Queen Victoria have a letters patent to say that the colony of Adelaide was supposed to respect the Kaurna people? Not saying they did respect the Kaurna people, not saying that the colony even being there was respectful to the Kaurna people, just saying she had a letters patent saying that. Why was that different from Lachlan Macquarie? See, the thing is, when you talk about the 21st century context, since 1901 when all the states got federated in Australia, okay, everyone thinks Australia, it's one continent. It wasn't called Australia back then. There was no Australia. Okay? And so if you put things into context, when did the word powerful become associated with the word rich? Go on. Isn't that culturally specific? Even in the 21st century, there are people who can see firefighters, doctors and nurses as being powerful as opposed to, say, billionaires with spaceships that can zap you. Or armies with spaceships that can zap you or whatever. Maybe before there were kings and emperors and whatever else and popes and whatever else, people thought powerful had nothing to do with rich. If you were starving in the middle of a desert, and you were a couple of hundred kilometres from the nearest waterhole, the person who knows how to get every single drop of liquid out of every single plant in your environment, they're the most powerful person in the world at that moment. Not some imagined emperor from overseas. Not someone who would whack you over the head with a stick. Not someone who would curse you with harsh words. The one that knows how to squeeze the water out of a plant. Have you noticed how it's context dependent? Have you noticed how it can contribute potentially, just in this framework of logic, to ideas about survival? Why? The powerful one isn't just the one that can kill you. It's also the one that can stop you from dying. Are there other forms of powerful people? Is this face powerful to you? Do you feel like you're learning something or it's contributing to your thinking process? Is that powerful? Yes, it is. You've been mind controlled. You've been influenced. You might want to look into logical fallacies. Don't just take anything that's said on this channel verbatim or any other. No matter how passionately it's articulated, no matter how much it's backed up as an argument, no matter how reasonable it sounds to you or unreasonable. Check it out. There will be arguments on this channel that are completely unreasonable sounding to some people, but are nonetheless the truth. And there'll be arguments that'll sound completely reasonable, which are in fact total lies. The rich are not powerful They just want you to think that. So they've got one over you. And the powerful are not rich. Those are two completely different adjectives. On that note, having $1 billion doesn't make you rich if there's no shop to buy food at. But knowing a shit ton about how plants and animals operate in nature, if you're stuck in the middle of whoop whoop, oh, now that's fucking rich. Cheers.